What's going on? It's time to continue on with the Children of the Corn franchise. I've been working my way through majority of the sequels, anyways, and we're on the sixth one. So yeah, Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return. So yeah, let's get into it. It was released by Dimension Films, October 19th, 1999. It was produced by Jenny Sherwood and Louis Spiegel, written by Tim Sulka and John Franklin, and directed by Cary Scogland, who's done a few other films such as 50 Dead Men Walking, Liberty Stand Still, Zebra Lounge, and The Stone Angel, to name a couple of them, anyways. So Children of the Corn 666 Isaac's Return is quite a drastic change from the previous entries into the franchise. So if you so obviously the first one's like a classic. The second one is more sort of like a sort of like telling of the original, but done in a different way and slightly odd circumstances and stuff. And then you got your a more monstrous version in Urban Harvest. The third one for The Gathering was more spiritual and conjuring up um, the way for the children to go crazy. And then the fifth one had a new leader and more just crazy, dumb teens getting tortured and terrorized by the kids. But yeah, so six kind of takes it into a different direction. Majority of the kids are grown up, and at the end of the fifth one, you see a baby, and this one continues on way after that. So now this young, like 20-year-old chick is on her way to find her true parents and stuff in Maddenville or whatever it's called, wherever she was born. She was put up for adoption and stuff. So she goes and tries to figure out why she was in that. And she goes and finds a way to the deserted ghost town of where the Children of the Corn lie. And some stipulations lead to her ending up in the hospital where she gets treated by a doctor, and something's not quite right. Like, there's definitely a lot of creepy imagery and stuff of like kids lingering in the hospitals, hanging out, and the small town where everyone knows that she's there, and it's up to her to try to put the pieces together and figure out what's actually going on and why a lot of crazy stuff starts happening, and like why are they trying to hide it and try to get to her and stuff. So this is more of like a dramatic thriller turn towards the franchise than an actual like the previous entries where they try to be a little more horror, torturous type stuff. Yeah. The acting in this is hit and miss depending on the characters, the people playing the characters, anyways, and that most of it's not that bad. The production value, the cinematography in this was actually pretty well done. I'm going to give it that. The music is what you'd expect from a Children of Corn film, but the pacing, it's very slow. This movie, it takes a while for it to like slowly build up, but in the end you don't really care for half of them, and there's a couple pointless characters. Like there's a special needs janitor that doesn't even need to be in there, just there for like jump scares and stuff. And yeah, but then um when you're when she first gets to the town and you learn of Isaac, who's not actually dead, kind of throws half the logic of the other sequels out the window. And yeah, it does its own thing and kind of messes up the timeline. And um, when it continues on and stuff, and he wakes from the coma and starts ruling over the town again and exacting revenge of what's going on. And yeah, the way it plays out, it kind of throws it all off. But overall, that kind of just messes up the story, but line and everything. But for the film, it's okay. Um, yeah, but they pretty much spoon feed you everything you need to know and stuff. Like when they wake up Isaac and yeah, all that jazz. You quickly learn that most of the adults that are still in the town are in on it. They're the original kids, and they basically have a certain prophecy to fulfill. Which, spoiler alert, the chick in it is the kid from the end of the fifth one, and has to they need her to fulfill the prophecy, but then also they need the 19-year-old helper at the hospital who becomes friends with her and tricks her into like thinking that he likes her and stuff, and then ends up trying to help fulfill the prophecy that way because they need him and her to fulfill it. And it gets a little boring and a little straightforward for my taste in films. This is by far the slowest one and my least favorite one so far. Well, it's on the same line as Children of the Corn Genesis, which came out a couple years later. But yeah, you can watch my review on that one for my opinions on that one. But this one is still like, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's just not much happens. It's more plot driven, where they didn't have very much to work with in the first place. So a lot of it's just more of a cat and mouse game, and her trying to figure out what's going on and stuff. There is a lot of good creepy imagery and stuff with like the kids lingering in the hospital, and they try to do it more spooky type feel to it. But when it comes to the climax and stuff like that, it's very predictable and very much straightforward, what you'd expect by now in the series. So Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return. I'm giving this one a 2 out of 5. I wasn't big on it. There's certain aspects I still enjoyed out of it, but this is definitely one of the way lower ones for me out of the franchise so far. But at least they tried to do something somewhat a little different. I just wish they stuck with the normal timeline, not screw it up as much. Because who knows what the 7th one's going to hold. But yeah, but that's what I thought of Children of the Corn 666. There's not much to it. There's only one death in this film too, which I wanted more, which is pretty disappointing for a Children of the Corn film. So, and most of it wasn't even kids, so who had it. And yeah, but you might like this if you like more thriller type deals and stuff like that. But if you're just like trucking along like I am through the Children of the Corn franchise, it's watchable, but it takes a while for stuff to get into, and it kind of gets predictable through the end. So be prepared for that. There's a trailer link down below if you haven't seen it, or if you want to relive it for some reason or whatnot. You just want to see what I'm talking about. It's linked down below. Also, my Instagram's always linked down below. I always post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. And I usually have the film title and a hashtag and the subject of the film and a hashtag, so you're aware of it in case something you're not interested in or whatnot. So make sure you follow me on Instagram to stay in the loop. And yeah, like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you've seen it. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. Also, comment your favorite Children of the Corn film out of the franchise down below if you've seen them. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what's your favorite one. And if you have any film franchises or any other films that you want to hear my opinions on sometime in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And also make sure you subscribe, because I'm still going to review at least one more Children of the Corn film. I'm starting to get a little tired of watching these ones, so I might do one more and then put the rest of the franchise on hold for now and move on to something a little different. But we'll see how it goes. So make sure you subscribe, because it's most likely going to be the next Children of the Corn film, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. Watch out for those cult worshipping kids lurking around in your hospitals and all around your rural towns, and I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So cheers!